Well, it's 7 p.m. and time for the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night to begin. Tonight, the Spring Bull Night continues the tradition of bringing a great lineup of presenters and bulls which showcase the Angus breed. All the presenters tonight have chosen to advertise in the Angus Australia Semen catalogue, and tonight will provide an introduction to the new bulls within their catalogues and the proven performers which have added to the Angus breed. The bulls on display tonight are all in the Angus Australia database, so if you want to look at their breeding values further or you want to try them out in the Angus mating predictor, then make sure you take note of their ID. A quick link to the bulls tonight will also be listed in the comments section below. The program for tonight's presentations is as follows, and throughout the night you'll have the opportunity to type questions to presenters in the comments section below. We'll do our best to get them answered, but if for whatever reason they are missed or you want to know more, the contact details for all our presenters can be found by going to the relevant Angus Australia Semen catalogue available through the Angus Australia website. All the presenters would be more than happy to hear from you, so make sure if you like any of the bulls on offer tonight, you give them a call to discuss the bull's use in your specific situation. Finally, there'll be an opportunity to provide feedback on the event. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide, even if it's as simple as rating how useful you found the event. And with that, we'll begin the night.
G'day, Cameron Cutler here, Beef Product Support for Semex Australia, and welcome to the Angus Bull Night for 2020. We're really excited to walk you through our list of Angus bulls that we've sourced from both here in Australia as well as North America. We've got some footage of progeny here on the ground, as well as walking you through some performance that these bulls will bring to the table. We feel these bulls have both commercial and stud relevance and will make a real impact for breeders here in Australia. So sit back, relax and enjoy our video. The first bull up tonight for us is Vetoquinol 7068, a bull we're really excited about. Vetoquinol is a calving ease option with some added growth, a bull with both balance of type and performance. Geddy's impressed us with his overall thickness, and he carries that on a beautiful set of feet and legs. Sired by the great KM Broken Bow 002 out of a really impressive Vetoquinol Goldie 50-51 cow. You can start, once you put those packages together, you can see why we're really excited about what Geddy's will offer. As we start looking at Geddy's performance, we're instantly attracted to the calving ease and low birth weight that he brings to the table. Combine that with top 5% for all growth traits, good eye muscle area, positive fat, he's a bull that can fit into most programs. I also want to make mention of his frame too, coming in at 6.3. Very rare to find a bull with that much frame but carrying that much thickness. A bull that we really feel is going to leave a mark. We went and visited with Nani DiGiorgio from Storita Park Angus in South Australia, and we're really impressed with the Geddy's calves out of first calving heifers. Under real commercial conditions, the Geddy's calves stood up at the top end of the group. A new bull for us in 2020 is Montana Elevation 7108, a bull that we really wanted to get for a variety of different reasons. One of which was being sired by Baldridge Colonel C251, which descends from that great Baldridge Isabel Y69 cow. Montana Elevation's pedigree is stacked with great females. Females that have been an integral part of the Montana operation for a long time, specifically focusing on IMF. Montana Elevation also impressed us with his performance. Low birth with calving ease, top 1% for 2-4-600 day weight, EMA in the top 5%, IMF at plus 2.4, and top 1% for all indexes. A complete package as far as we were concerned. We feel Elevation has the potential to make a great female. Looking here at his 3/4 sister and knowing the cows that are in his pedigree, if he can emulate this in Australia, he should create a lot of excitement for breeders. Texas No Regrets N46 is a bull that really has breeders talking. No Regrets is a bull that is going to add natural thickness and style to his progeny. Coming from the great Undine cow and backed by Canonical Hector on the top, he's certainly doing an impressive job. As we've seen progeny recorded, we've seen his birth weight come down to 5.7 and his EMA cruise up to plus 10.6, making him the top 3% for that trait. The other thing to pay attention to is docility at in the top 4% and his net feed intake at top 2%. Unfortunately, semen on No Regrets is now very limited. For those who want to use him, get in quick because stocks won't last. Right, we're up here at Berrydale Angus with Brodie Collins to talk about Texas No Regrets. Brodie, what attracted you to using Texas No Regrets?
A fair bit of the family lines, I suppose. We've been chasing that Undine cow family for a little while, and when the bull came up at sale, we're really happy with the way he looked on catalogue and in paper. We had people up there looking at him, and structurally he looks really good. Feet really sound, a heap of thickness through the calf, yet still had plenty of size in him, coming through from the dam side, sort of thing. So.
We just had a look at all your sons there by No Regrets, and they seem to be quite impressive. You seem to be happy with them?
Yeah, really happy with the consistency. I've just shown you 7 out of 8 No Regrets calves we got here, all out of the one flush. They're exceptional. They're really even. At the top end, we're likely to take the Melbourne show this year, so we're really happy with how they're going.
So you've commented on the thickness of the No Regrets. Why is that a big feature of what you're doing at Berrydale?
It's probably a big feature because really at the end of the day we still get paid cents per kilo. That's a big thing in the industry now. We're really happy with the size of the No Regrets dam. So yeah, we're still trying to get this size into our family and into our herd, and consistency is probably what he's thrown over most of it.
And he's done that?
Yeah, he has. He's done it really well.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Up next is Mock Specialist 98, a new bull for us this year. We were really excited to get Specialist into our catalogue this year, as we were really attracted to his sire, Baldridge 38 Special, and his dam, Mock Ruth 1686. Specialist gives you the best of both worlds, calving ease and low birth weight with added growth later on. Brad Gilchrist did mention that this bull as a yearling was really impressive. He comes in the top 5% for 2 and 400 day weight and top 10% for 600 day weight. Special mention there of his mature cow weight at plus 91, for those that are seeking to keep their mature cow weight down. Supply of Specialist is good, so if you are seeking a low birth, high growth bull this spring, make sure Specialist is on your list. With early progeny due on the ground this spring, Silverbine Attractive 4565 is another bull that has us really excited. People who have seen Attractive in the flesh in North America have been really excited by what they've seen. Sired by J&B Traction 292 out of Frosty Answer 3979, it's not hard to understand why. Semex Global Beef Marketing Manager Brad Gilchrist commented that the first time he saw Attractive, he was impressed with his sire outlook, natural thickness and good feet. Attractive's a bull that's going to give some real power and thickness to his progeny. Top 1% for 2 and 400 day weight, top 2% for 600 day weight, without paying the heavy price for birth weight, coming in at just plus 4.5. Attractive by name, attractive by look. Use this bull to add some growth and some style to your herd. Pathfinder Masterpiece is a great combination of growth and carcass quality. Top 2% for 2, 4 and 600 day, as well as an eye muscle area in the top 6%, carcass weight the top 7%, as well as an attractive IMF figure. Combining that with top 1% for all selection indexes makes Masterpiece an attractive option for those breeding carcass cattle. Masterpiece stems from one of Pathfinder's great donors in Pathfinder Berkeley H66. Sired by the great Tasmania Garth G67, no wonder this bull has an attractive data set that's going to really add some value. We're here this morning at Pathfinder Angus in southwest Victoria with Nick Boyle, Pathfinder Angus, talking about Pathfinder Masterpiece M651. Nick, tell us a little bit about Masterpiece, his pedigree and just a bit of background on the bull.
Well, he's a Garth son, which they have sold extremely well at Tasmania. I think they've averaged over 11 grand or something in the Tasmania sale. The donor is one of our, well, it's the highest indexing donor we've got here. She's a Berkeley out of an equator, so she's got beautiful feet on her, her temperament's good, and she's got plenty of punch. So yeah, the Garth complements her with the docility, and the equator puts the really good feet, as you can see on him.
And how if we were going to use Masterpiece, and I heard, how would we best be using him?
Well, I mean, he's extremely good for docility, and he's very good on feet. And he's got plenty of punch in his calves. So if you're looking for growth, docility and feet, that's where I'd be looking.
Yeah, well, looking at that video before, he's working cows at the minute. He looks like he's holding up really well. So, and yeah, season here in southwest Victoria, good?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. We had a really good start to autumn. On the back of a really good spring, so yeah, no, it's been fantastic. And winter has been, we haven't got too wet yet, so yeah, feeding has been only minimal compared to what we normally have.
Very good. Thanks for having us, Nick, and we'll talk again soon. Another exciting heifer option we've had this year has been Musgrave Colossal 137. Due to unprecedented demand, unfortunately, we've run out of semen this year. We expect new shipments early in 2021. Colossal is a bull we wanted to mention tonight for his low birth weight and attractive phenotype. We really feel he'll have an impact for both stud and commercial producers as a genuine heifer option. Thank you for watching our contribution to the Angus Bull Night. We've got some other bulls coming in very soon that should complement the bulls you've already seen here tonight. And as soon as that information becomes available, we'll get that out to breeders as soon as we can. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Pathfinder Angus, Breeder Park Angus and Merridale Angus for contributing to this video. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact myself or Semex rep in your area. We hope everyone's having a good season. We look forward to catching up with you very soon. Thank you.
Tonight, EBVs have been a big part of the discussion on the bulls. EBVs use pedigree, performance and genomic information to predict the genetic merit of the animal. This prediction of an animal's genetic merit enables us to describe the expected performance of the progeny by the bulls. This is why you hear lines like EBVs belong to the progeny. The Angus Education Centre provides a great resource for anyone looking for more information on EBVs and the traits they describe. So whether just starting out or experienced in the Angus world, be sure to check out the Angus Education Centre. And with that, we'll move on to our next presenter for the night.
Welcome everyone to the 2020 Spring Angus Bull Night for Breeder Genetics. We are really excited to showcase what we have on offer this year, and we are always extensively looking for the best genetics out there, and we really believe we've found them. Things to look forward to tonight are the release of some new pictures of the bulls. We're going to have updated data and genomics and progeny updates as well. We'll start with some of our high performance bulls, and then move into our more carcass orientated bulls, and then we'll finish up with our heifer bulls. Following that, we're really excited. We're going to introduce one of our newest bulls to the team, and we're really excited for what he has to offer. So, without further ado, let's rip into it. And the first bull I want to talk to you about tonight is Realist N278. A bull that is extremely sound with a super balanced data set and a foolproof pedigree. A bull that will put functionality back into cattle. He does the basics so right, then adds so much more. His family line is the most prolific cow line at Karoo. His dam and grand dam combining over 70 head of progeny. His first calves have hit the ground, coming a week early, being between 36 and 42 kilos thus far. This is a bull that will add softness, shape, structural soundness and docility into any herd. Now we want to move up a gear in power and performance, and the first bull to start us up here is none other than the Monty M186. He's a crowd favourite by all that see him, and arguably one of the best bulls to come out of the Nola herd. Monty's an extremely sound bull with a heap of power, performance and sheer body mass. Monty is backed by a prestigious donor dam within the Nola herd and is regarded as one of their best cows. Also, what is not shown here is Monty is also in the top 1% for feed efficiency. Here you can see the first few pictures of Monty progeny that have just come in from Glen Isa Angus. These two lads will sell in their 2020 bull sale coming up in September. Use Monty to add weight, power and performance with docility, large scrotal and some serious maternal value. Now we're going to roll into Lionheart L305. Lionheart was the $70,000 son of Ascot Hallmark, purchased by Ben Nevis Angus and Trio Angus. Lionheart is a very rare animal across the board with his show-stopping looks, a B muscle pattern, softness, impeccable structure and a docile nature. Lionheart progeny have been stamped with power, muscle shape and some serious grunt and performance. His pedigree is Australian Angus royalty, combining the magic of the Millamara flower and Brenda lines with the breed legends Tamania Emperor and Dunoon Everton. If you're looking for performance, then here is your man. Now we'll move into Newsflash and 239, who was purchased for $24,000 in the 2018 Ben Nevis Angus sale by Bannaby Angus. Newsflash's sire Proceed is now deceased, so it's a great opportunity to secure some of these outcross genetics. Newsflash offers growth, muscling right through his midsection and lower thigh. A bull that can really get out and move. One of the best assets to Newsflash is his maternal value. He comes from the Ben Nevis gene family, who has produced many high sellers for Ben Nevis Angus. Newsflash is a maternal brother to the dam of the $32,000 Ben Nevis Metamorphic that went down to Banquet Angus as well as into New Zealand. I recently re-inspected this bull and was blown away with how thick he was and how impressive his first calves were. Overall, Newsflash combines the high quality carcass of the Proceed and the real thump and doing ability of the renowned Ben Nevis gene family. We'll now move into our carcass bulls for tonight, and none other here to start us for the night is King K306. King is a moderate frame sire that has proven himself in many commercial and stud herds across Australia. King is a graduate of Cohort 7 of the Angus Young Sire Benchmarking Program, where he absolutely smashed it. First for MSA Marble Score, first for front feet angle, second for MSA Index, second for Carcass IMF, third for front feet claw set, third for coat type, fifth for raw IMF, and seventh for Carcass EMA. King's Dam is your typical Admiral A2 daughter that is just a bit more moderate than your average A2 daughter. She is a donor dam for Landfall Angus, and when I inspected her, she was an extremely well-uddered female with great extension through the front and displays great freedom of movement. In the recent Nola Livestock Bull Sale, 11 King Sons averaged just under 16,500, being 25% up on the total sale average. Overall, King is a highly proven bull that will add shape, thickness, improve foot quality and any docility issues. King is a perfect bull for any commercially orientated cattleman that is serious about their carcass traits. The next bull I want to talk to you about is Revenue M4. Revenue was the $35,000 selection by Coffin Creek Angus, Nola Livestock and Palgrave Charolais and Ultra Blacks. Revenue's carcass data in combination with his docility ranks him number 1 in the entire Angus Australia database. Revenue's dam is a leading donor dam at Borrigal Angus, who has also produced many other stud sires. She displays great body capacity and exhibits plenty of growth. Revenue sons are soft, display excellent body length and are very, very docile. Revenue is an outcross pedigree for most that adds docility, carcass, body length and shape, but most of all, strength of top and spine. He suits the middle of the road females that just need a little lifting up without sacrificing overall body capacity. Now we're going to move into the heifer bulls of the evening. And to start us here is going to be our first US bull of the night, and he is Musgrave Avenger. Avenger was one of the lead-off bulls of the 2018 Musgrave Angus bull sale. He possesses great muscle shape, phenotype and great breed character. The data shown here is his US data, where he currently ranks top 1% for his dollar maternal value and dollar weaned. He should have genomics data enhanced by now. If not, it should be included in the next run. Here are the first 2 pictures out of Musgraves on the first Avenger progeny. The heifer on the left is out of a Big Sky daughter and the bull on the right is out of a Capitalist 316 daughter. He's a sleep all night heifer bull that adds thickness, fleshing ability in a very attractive package, where he was only born at 32 kilos. Now, here's a really interesting package with complement L51, or as we better know him, Selwood. If you're looking for low birth, docility, positive fat, and some cattle with some serious punch and shape, then here's the bull you need. He really exhibits all the traits of an ideal, industry-relevant, modern-day Angus sire. Selwood's first sons averaged 9,500 in the Glatz 2019 Cattleman's Bull Sale, in excess of 3,000 over the sale average. They are beautiful and soft, with slick skins and really good doing cattle. He's currently in his 6th consecutive natural joining, handling the heavy workload with ease. His eldest daughters are now in production, fertile and sound females with great udder quality. His rising 8-year-old dam remains in the herd whilst being fertile and super productive. Now we're going to move into a bull that has been creating some buzz within the industry. He is our semen sales leader, none other than Nobleman N127. A bull with a very proven pedigree and a no-holds data set. He really is a bull with a flawless data profile and impeccable phenotype. Sleep at night heifer bull that has some serious shape and muscle. Comes from the famous lowland cow family that has bred so many greats. 4 generations away from the famous Tamani lowland M118. His dam, K49, has another son retained in the Nola herd from the P drop. The reports on his first calves have been fantastic. I inspected these calves in a commercial herd a few weeks ago and came away thinking what complete and utter bumbusters they were. This is a bull that is definitely not to be missed. Now we're going to move into a bull that we are really excited about. Here he is, Baldridge Alternative E125. Alternative E125 is a bull that offers superior freedom of movement in a powerful package combining muscle and softness. A bull that stands on excellent feet and legs with an overall superb structural integrity. He really simply commands your attention with his presence. The first 18 sons of Alternative to sell in the US sold for an average of just over 16,000. A total of 141 bulls in that sale sold for an average of just over 7,500. Progeny highlights include the top price female in the 2020 High Roller Angus sale at 185,000, where Alternative progeny was the highest selling sire group. The top price bull in the 2020 Hawaii in the Sun sale at 165,000. Alternative's flush sister sold 75,500 at the National Western Stock Show in 2018. A real highlight of this bull is his ability to add muscle and thickness whilst keeping IMF and structural integrity. The pick weaner heifer at Baldridge's last November was easily out of Beast Mode's flush sister. This is a great opportunity for Beast Mode daughters to really capitalise on everything Alternative brings to the table. He was easily the best young and upcoming bull we inspected on our 2019 American Bull Tour. Now to our newest addition. We are very proud to introduce to you tonight the top selling bull from the record-breaking NOLA Livestock 2020 sale, Packer P130. Packer is a king son that we've been looking for now for a long time. He has extreme body length, thickness, sire appeal, and the overall presence we love in any young sire. He carries all the same traits we love in King, he just adds the weight, the length, and some sheer and serious performance. His dam and grand dam have had the heaviest weaned calves for many years now. Packer was the heaviest weaned calf in the 2018 drop at NOLA. We are super excited about what this bull brings to the table. Pre-orders are now available on this bull. If you would like to purchase any, please get in early whilst there's still semen available. That wraps up things from me and the current breeder genetic sires. Please check out the website for more information, such as videos of the bulls, prices, and how breeder genetics can help you. Remember, you can purchase semen online, and that process has been made really easy and intuitive. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I'm very happy to talk to you about any of the bulls and share as much information as I can. I try to do this to make it as transparent as possible to you so you can make the best breeding decisions within your operation. We are happy to talk to you about your breeding program right from the point of conception through to point of sale and everything in between to really drive genetic gain and increase your bottom line. We understand that different bulls are suited to different environments and markets, so please, if you're unsure on what bulls you should be using, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I'd love and be happy to help you out. We'll have the Spring Breeder Genetics 2020 sire directory available over the next coming weeks, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And if you'd like one to show up in your mailbox, get in touch again. Thank you very much for your time and watching our lineup tonight. We hope you have a great night and look forward to hearing from you all in the near future. Cheers.
If you haven't heard my voice before, hi, I'm Shane Twist and I host the Angus Australia podcast Behind the Beef. If you're a beef cattle enthusiast and haven't already, make sure you have a listen. Behind the Beef gives you a look behind the scenes into the everyday activities of the people behind the beef, meaning the activities and people that work behind the scenes in the beef industry to bring you the end product. So far covering Angus Youth, the Angus Eye Benchmarking Program and Angus Australia Member Services, the podcast focuses on highlighting the relationships and opportunities of Angus Australia and the programs within the society for our members and the wider industry. With interviews from Angus producers around Australia and insight into Angus Australia staff, Behind the Beef gives a voice to the people and the roles they play behind the programs not only within Angus Australia but the wider Angus and beef community. Listen to it on Whooshka Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts and Spotify on your ball run, as you're sitting on your tractor or on your next trip to town.
Welcome to the Worldwide Sires presentation of the Spring Bull Night. I'm Dale Edwards and I'm the Beef Manager for Worldwide Sires Australia, and I have with me tonight Lorna Marshall, the head of Select Sires Beef in the United States. Welcome, Lorna.
Thanks, Dale. Thanks for having me tonight, and I am excited that we have you on board.
I think this bull, speaks, I guess, volumes for what we really want to try and build here in Australia. I've seen this bull, and it's pretty hard to pick this bull apart structurally. He's just super sound-footed, highly docile, structurally just really, really nice. So I guess that's part of the direction we want to head in. So what do you think about SAV Rainfall?
Well, you picked a great one to start with. He is actually our number one selling bull so far in the U.S. in 2020. He is an outstanding semen producer, and I think you described him well in that balance. I think epitomizes this bull. He is one of our best bulls in terms of being a foot improver and docility improver. The cattle are just impeccable from a structural correctness, balance, eye appeal, fleshing ability, udder quality standpoint. If we had an EPD for quality, he would be probably one of our highest bulls in terms of just creating quality cattle. And he is, very unique for the SAV program in that generally those bulls are not calving ease and they're not high carcass merit. And he is really unique in that he is a calving ease bull. There's over 950 birth weights turned in the U.S. database. We know he's calving ease and very unique from a marbling standpoint out of that particular gene pool.
I did not know that he was one of your highest sellers or your highest seller, so that's really interesting. This next bull, Lorna, I saw this bull last year and he kind of intrigued me. I love his pedigree, his Australian numbers. He's got an Australian proof here now, and he's come up real nice. He's top 2 and 1% for the 2 and 400 day growth. He's got a massive EMA, top 2%. He's just got a different slant on his pedigree, sort of a moderate size type of bull. But I really like this bull. What do you think of Blueprint?
I love Blueprint. If I had to pick one word that describes him, it would be muscle. He adds extreme muscle and with the base and expression of muscle to his progeny across the board. He probably adds about as much muscle as any bull in our lineup does. And, like you said, very balanced EPDs, being a Confidence Plus son. Very unique for a Confidence Plus son in that he's really high for scrotal circumference. So we've seen a lot of people plug him in because, one, they're trying to fix phenotype and add muscle. And 2, he's unique for the Confidence Plus sons in that regard. And then, as you said, docility's good. In the U.S. with our foot scores, he's another bull that ranks in the top 20% of the breed for both of our foot EPDs, so we consider him a foot improver as well.
Sure, we don't have that data through in our system yet, but that's great to let us know that. Really quiet, and I certainly, as soon as we saw him, we were pretty pleased that we'd brought him into our team. The next bull is a really interesting bull. Ferguson Trailblazer. We saw this bull as well last year, and I really liked him. Real nice mover, a little bit more frame maybe than some of the other bulls. And then when he's come into our EBV system, his numbers have just gone off the chart. He's hit the growth traits, a top 1% for all growth traits, 2, 4, and 600 days. He's really, really high on IMF. In America, his docility, I think, is top 5%. He's kind of flown under the radar a little bit, this bull, I think, but he's top 1% on all of our indexes as well. So when his numbers came across into our system, they've just exploded. What do you think of Trailblazer?
Yeah, you've done a great job of describing him, and the birth to yearling spread is right. You're right, he's one of our highest marbling bulls. I call him an index crusher. The cattle phenotypically, you're right, they do have a little bit more frame size, and for the Australians that like some grunt, the Trailblazer cattle are going to have some grunt. They're really long-fronted, long-bodied, very attractive, very well-balanced cattle. He's going to be above average from a capacity and muscle standpoint, and he was kind of slow getting off the ground, but he's proven himself through progeny data, so I think he's got a really big future ahead of him.
Yeah, I actually saw a young Trailblazer heifer at a purebred client the other day, and she was real stretchy, real nice young little heifer. So we've already seen a reasonably heavy use on this bull, but I think he's going to get more popular as the season unfolds.
The other interesting thing about him is in the U.S., he is actually one of our highest bulls for heifer pregnancy on the U.S. database. He's in the top 1%. I think his heifer pregnancy is over 17. So I think there's going to be some fertility there as well.
Oh, is that right? Oh, that's great. This next bull really ticked the boxes for me when I was in the States last year. Mock Entice. I really love this bull, just super, super docile. He's so big middled and so thick made. I love this bull, and, now that his numbers have come through in Australia, another bull whose numbers have just exploded. Top 1% again, like Trailblazer, for all 2, 4, and 600 day growth. Just a really solid number set. And what I really like about this bull is his docility. Top 1% in the US for docility.
I love this bull. So, obviously his sire Enhance has been very popular. And really our goal in finding an Enhanced son was one that maybe, like you did a great job describing him, had a little bit more rib shape and capacity, a little heavier muscled, a little stouter boned. And that was really, we picked Entice based off of phenotype, but his progeny data has really earned him a really nice proof to go along with it. He was one of our top 10 selling bulls this spring. The first sons sold at Hoover Angus this spring and were the high averaging sire group in Hoover sale. You're right about the docility. He also does really good for the claw shape EPD that we have here in the U.S. And he's top 1% for the dollar beef and dollar combined index. Just a really cool package.
Really, really like that bull. The next bull is a bull called Hoover Know-How. Now, this bull we haven't had in Australia overly long, so he hasn't seen a lot of use yet. But I think heading into the spring, this bull really, really ticks the boxes for, again, I guess something that we want to concentrate on, and that's foot quality. You know, we don't have that in our EBV system yet, but I know in the US, this bull excels in foot quality and obviously has a fair bit of punch to him. I know you've said to me before about this bull, Lorna. What are your thoughts on Know-How?
So no doubt his sire has been very popular in the U.S. because of phenotype and feet.
Yep.
So we really wanted to find a no doubt son. Our goal was to find one that maybe was better from a marbling standpoint than what no doubt himself was.
Yep.
This bull is high growth. Like you said, he's in the top 1% and top 15% of the breed for both of our foot EPDs. So next to Rainfall, he's our next best bull in terms of being a foot improver. He is a high docility bull. He's big scrotal. He's high heifer pregnancy, and he's a 0.82 for marbling on the U.S. evaluation. So, you know, he adds a lot more marbling than his sire does. He transmits the same phenotype that no doubt has, you know, been so popular.
Yeah, I think we've had quite a lot of inquiry on this bull, and obviously we're heading into our spring breeding season, so I'm pretty sure this bull's going to see a fair bit of use. This next bull is an interesting bull. I've been to Hinman's, I've seen this bull's sire, and I've seen his sire's dam and grand dam. So, you know, again, something that we want to focus on is that maternal strength, and this bull has maternal strength really running through his veins. So, you know, we were pretty pleased to bring this bull in. And again, he hasn't had Australian numbers very long. So I guess, you know, they'll probably change a little bit down the road. But already a bull with lower birth than I would expect from that pedigree, I guess, but already hit the mark with his growth, you know, top 2%, 1% and 2% for the 2 and 4 and 600-day growth. So a lower birth weight bull with a bunch of punch in him, I think. What do you think of Cowboy Logic?
Yeah, so we found him at Denver, and I mean, he is just a complete power bull, very much like his sire, Cowboy Up. And he really intrigued us in that we were looking for a Cowboy Up son that offered more calving ease than Cowboy Up had. He also had more carcass merit and maybe more milk than what Cowboy Up offered. And you're right. So I actually made a trip to North Dakota in February to look at his mother, and she is a power cow. She probably weighs, 1,800 pounds. She's not little. She's massive. She's very three-dimensional. She has a beautiful udder. She has great feet. It's amazing. This bull, we had a lot of calves born this spring. He remained a 17 CED on the U.S. database, and it's just amazing that we have a bull with that much calving ease that is that powerfully, made, and he is a high growth bull to go along with it. Like we mentioned earlier, he's a bull that's got a little bit more frame size, so I think, again, if you're trying to breed for some grunt and some power, certainly this bull's going to transmit that, but I think still with some pretty reliable calving ease and lots of maternal function.
No, I think he could be a really nice addition. I can't wait to put him into some cows and see how he breeds, but I think he'll do a really nice job. This next bull, I guess, I know we've spoken about this bull a bit. This bull hasn't even arrived in Australia yet, and I think we've almost sold out our first shipment. And I know that's the case in the US. GAR hometown, top 1% for all our indexes here, top 2% for IMF, top 4% for EMA, huge calving ease direct, but still really good growth. This bull has caused a lot of interest in the US and Australia. Lorna, what can you tell me about hometown?
He is so unique. We get the opportunity to market a lot of really neat Gardner bulls, but this bull is a phenotypic standout. One, he's very moderate frame for the growth projections that he has. He is really good hipped, really has a lot of lower quarter and muscle shape to him when you get behind him. When you study his front end, he has a herd bull presence that you just don't find in a lot of, Angus bulls today. And just really, really unique in terms of his overall phenotypic package. He's got a lot of width of base. And I think that's why he's been so popular, is that it's just so rare for us to find bulls that combine the number set that he has with his type of phenotype. And then on top of that, he's a super semen producer. I don't think that there is a collection that we have not passed since he came in. I mean, he just is that consistent in terms of his semen production. And so, you know, just to put all the pieces together, he's our number 2 selling bull this spring behind Rainfall. So, you know, he's going to have a huge spring his first year here in the States.
This is a new acquisition that you've recently purchased, and he caught my eye, and so we decided to bring him into our program here in Australia. Wilkes Regiment. We don't have obviously Australian numbers on this bull yet, but I just thought it might be neat to maybe just quickly go over this bull. What are your thoughts on him?
Several of the bulls you've picked out are, one, they're foot improvers, and 2, a lot of them have outcross pedigrees, just like Cowboy Logic, where there's a lot of mating flexibility there. And that was one of the things that appealed to us about Regiment, is that he is a war cavalry, which is a bull that unfortunately died a little early in his life, and out of a VAR Empire daughter. Huge birth to yearling spread. So he's almost 170 yearling weight in the U.S. You know, really big time carcass tabulation, top 1% dollar beef and dollar C. Very cool phenotype. He has a couple of full sisters that have sold extremely well in the U.S. and created a lot of excitement. And so very excited not only about the cow family and the sisters, but the bull himself. And he did not have a lot of semen this spring, but we did get quite a bit of semen spread around, and there will be a good proof coming on him this next year. And again, a high phenotype bull for your market, I think.
Well, Lorna, I really appreciate your time to make this presentation work. Can't wait to work on a few more new bulls with you. And again, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Oh, thank you, Dale. We are so excited to be pushing the envelope in Australia, so it's going to be fun.
The Angus Select suite of decision support tools are a powerful option for anyone looking to apply selection criteria over animals within sale and semen catalogues. The 2 tools which enable this are Angus SaleSELECT for animals currently listed in sale catalogues, and Angus Semen Select for animals currently listed in semen catalogues. The tools draw on the power of the Angus Australia database and enable a wide range of criteria to be applied to searches relating to animal details, pedigree details, genetic condition statuses, and of course EBVs. An EBV criteria can either be set with the EBV itself or with the percentile band the breeding value falls in within the breed. The ability to use the powerful tools to assist with selection decisions is something every breeder should consider. Detailed tutorials on how to use the tools are available in the Angus Education Centre, so check them out and benefit from the functionality of these great tools.
Yes, as the Eagles so eloquently put it in 1976, there is indeed a new kid in town. Welcome to the 2020 Angus Australia Bull Night. My name's Fletch Kelly. I'm joined by Bill Cornell and our newest kid in town, Annie Pumper. And we are, of course, from ABS Australia Beef. We've got an action-packed lineup for you tonight, so sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We're going to get out of these horrendous 70s outfits, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Angus Australia Bull Night for 2020. Thanks goes to Angus Australia for the opportunity to participate once again. My name's Fletch Kelly. I'm joined by Bill Cornell, and Bill, that moustache needs to go.
Oh, sorry.
I'll leave it with you.
Thanks, Fletch. Okay, good-o. Folk, as you know, ABS Australia, your #1 beef team, #1 product. We've had a fantastic year, thank you to all of you. Got 42% of the Angus semen sales and 6 of the top 10 Angus bulls in terms of registrations. And as you'll see, we've got a new member to our team, Annie Pumper. And Annie's going to say a couple of words, but in doing so, what we've done with Annie is to tell her it's all about people, product and programs. And on that point, I'll throw to Annie, and you just might mention to some of the folk out there about what our programs are here at ABS Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Bill, and thanks, Fletch, for having me on board at ABS. I'm super excited.
In terms of some of the involvement that I have within the industry, I'm currently the Angus Youth Roundup Coordinator for 2021, so working hard to get that organised, and also the President of the Hereford Youth National Board. In terms of ABS though, I've come to know a lot of things about the product that we offer in terms of SEXL, HCR, commercial agreements. After our global conferences, I've learned a lot more about the New Era program and also the In Focus program as well. So super excited, as I said. Boys, I've got a bit of work to do on that, as I said, so I'll leave you two to do this, and I'll see you back a bit later.
Thanks, Annie.
Thank you, Annie. Well, Bill, it's super exciting to inject a little bit of youth into the team and to have Annie on board as our 4th beef member. Super exciting about what the future holds for her, alongside yourself and me, and also Kim Sultana, our 4th member of beef, who sadly couldn't be here today. But yeah, from a people perspective, we couldn't be more thrilled. So the first bull we really wanted to cover today, and he really needs no introduction, is Millamurra Paratrooper, P15, the record $160,000 Australian Angus bull that went under the hammer at Millamurra last year. Bill, really keen to hear your thoughts on the bull. The first progeny are just hitting the ground now at Millamurra. A lot of people are very impressed with what they're seeing. He'll be our largest first year unit selling bull, so just extremely exciting to have him in our camp.
Absolutely, Fletch. Paratrooper's done a really good job, and he's our #1 revenue selling bull for the last financial year. Having seen Paratrooper only recently, one still has to be extremely impressed with his overall carcass, his strong top, his free moving, his beautiful docility and his softness. And his EBVs have strengthened, and he has really come into his own. And the number of inquiries we're getting about him is just sensational.
It's outrageous.
Yep. Yeah, and then you go up to Millamurra and you have a look at the calves.
Yeah.
Annie and I took a trip up there, and there's about 40 calves we saw up there, and beautiful calves. They've got straight tops, they're thick, and they're really showing that what Paratrooper had, that really good top on them.
Exactly.
And elegant calves, really stylish. Ross has had about 10 calves born so far out of heifers, no problem at all.
Yep.
And his figures seem to be stacking up that he's a heifer bull. But we anticipate he's going to be in for a huge year, both in the registered scene and also in the commercial scene, because he hits all the targets.
Yep.
So he's the bull to use.
The second bull we're going to be speaking about tonight is a relatively new bull to our camp. His name is Coonamble Investment P20, a SITS investment son that went under the hammer earlier in the year at Coonamble. A very, very impressive bull, Bill. We're very excited to have him in our camp. His dam, K283, over there in Coonamble in WA, is a donor in the herd, and she has beautiful feet, very, very structurally sound. What's even cooler is that his granddam, D94, an old Burramuka Warwick cow, is still in the herd at 12 years old, and she's a donor as well, and she's got 20 progeny as well. So this is just a pedigree littered with structural soundness, maternal integrity, and then we look at the bull's EBVs. He's got very low birth weight, very good growth, and we're very excited about him, Bill.
Absolutely, Fletch. You know, being the #1 selling bull, there we had a look around, we decided we need a SITS investment, and Coonamble was the place to go to, but the maternal strength of that bull is enormous, and the soundness of him. I really like the length that the bull has to offer. Absolutely. And I think he's a tremendous opportunity for people to use.
Bill, another bull to, of course, mention today is GB Fireball, Surefire son, a bull at ABS that's been extremely popular over the last year. It's so often that people say, well, there's a bull and he's got good figures, but he doesn't look very good. And there's a bull that looks good, but his figures are crap. And Fireball is one of those rare exceptions where he doesn't just have data to burn, but he's actually a really cool looking bull, Bill. So from an EBV point of view, he sits at around 2.7 for birth, out to 135 for growth. So he's got plenty of growth and huge carcass. 12.5 for EMA, 3.7 for IMF, top 1% for all his indexes. So from an EBV and data standpoint, he's certainly going to ramp up the horsepower in your herd there. Then you get to the phenotype part of the bull. The actual top line, the strength in him, how quiet he is, the neck extension that he displays, really clean underneath, super clean skin bull. Bill, keen to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. I think you summarised him to a fair degree, Fletch. The nice thing about him is looking at him, just his overall structure, feet shape, I think should please just about everybody. a bull that's being heavily used in New Zealand and also now here in Australia. A bull that in terms of going over heifers, he's going to be able to do heifers all day, every day. Yep. Talking to the owners, he did have a 21 kilo birth weight, which you'd think was probably too small, yep. But it's not in terms of the growth that the bull offers and his overall dimension.
He really does.
He is a good bull. Good. Another bull that we also saw on the trip along with Fireball was Stella. Yes. A little bit different in terms of being Stella, but beautiful in terms of calving ease, low birth weight, and plenty of growth, and comes from the SITS program, so we're really looking for a great maternal aspect on it. But the things you have to admire about Stella are his B-minus muscle score pattern, yep. Really nice, good strong top, really tight sheath, good scrotal, and he's in the top 1% over in the US for claw shape and for heel depth. So a bull that's really offering plenty to people, and indeed plenty to people. And we went over there and we saw progeny at SITS's and were mightily well impressed. A bull that I admit lacks IMF, so for some people he mightn't be able to work for them, but there's plenty of cows around now that are really high for IMF. They're going to be looking for the maternal, for that body shape, and I think Stella's really got that wrapped up in the bag. And maybe Fletch, you might want to comment on a couple of his numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, a calving age option for a lot of producers, a low birth weight, offers adequate growth. As you said, Bill, probably doesn't offer a huge amount of IMF, but just a really versatile EBV set that you can pretty much do anything with. What's really impressed me is just how deep flanked and wide based and slick skin a lot of the sons have been that have sold over in America by Stella. And just to watch them go under the hammer and to hear reports from the ABS crew over in America about how people have been flocking from all states to get to the sales to buy Stella sons, and it's just been a real testament to how the bull's breeding. So as you said, use him over those sort of higher horsepower females that have got a lot more carcass than you might like, but might be a little bit slabby and flat-sided. Just use him to add a little bit more muscle and a bit of punch back into your herd.
And also on top of that, Fletch, too, is we forgot to mention, but phenotypically between Command and Stella, they're the two boys out there that are the real winners on phenotype in the bull stud.
Absolutely, and they're both real cow makers, which is actually why we've got them in SEXL, sexed female semen.
Which leads us into Command. And what's really fabulous, Fletch, is that we've got, in terms of SEXL, we have Stella, but also Command. And Command is a bull that we saw back in 2017 on our January trip, and he was a super impressive bull, and he's continued to deliver all the way around. We were absolutely in awe of his Hoover Dam mother, the Blackbird cow, who's gone on and she's breeding other AI sons as well out there. But the Command, you have to love him for his overall body length, for his muscle, for his strength on top, for his cleanness underneath, and really nice in terms of his structure and in terms of his feet. And Fletch, with Command, I'll be really interested to hear your thoughts on the bull and also his high fertility in his semen as well.
Absolutely, Bill. It's been very pleasing, and it's no secret that Command's been a favourite bull of mine for the last few years now. After we saw him in January 2017, we were extremely impressed. We've inspected him on multiple occasions since then, and certainly what we see out here in Australia, Bill, in terms of how Command's breeding, we couldn't be happier, and that's certainly reflected in his structural EBVs too, which for me, that's something extremely important. In terms of his other EBVs, he's a bomb-proof heifer option, very good calving ease, low birth, but offers a ton of growth too. He sits at around an 11.5 for EMA as well, and adequate IMF. So across the board in his EBV profile, we're very happy. In terms of his fertility, that's been another very pleasing aspect through our HCR program, to see how well the bull is doing in fixed time AI programs, which is so important for not only seed stock producers, but for commercial producers, with fertility being the #1 driver of profitability. So very, very happy with the bull overall, and he's going to continue to be a really strong seller for us in the future, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're talking about HCR and fertility, Fletch, just explain to people about our 3 standards that we have now, and a little bit about the amount of data we've collected and what we've got with HCR.
That's right. So a lot of people will be aware we do run our high conception rate, or HCR program. We've now analysed over 35,000 preg test results from right around Australia, of not just our bulls, but bulls from everyone else's camp as well. It's been really interesting to see. We've now been able to actually separate our graduate bulls, our HCR graduates, into 3 tiers. They are silver, gold and platinum, with silver averaging up to 5% higher conception rate, gold averaging up to 7%, and platinum averaging up to 10% higher conception rate in fixed time AI programs. So in terms of maximising the bang for your buck, Bill, it's all about using bulls like Command, who we've just spoken about, our leading sire Murder Duke Kicking, Cluny Range Legend, and bulls like Landfall Keystone. Really, really strong, not only seed stock bulls, but commercial bulls as well.
Yeah, and if I can expand on a couple of them, Fletch, in particular Kicking, we've done a few analyses of him, and we have to remind people that to be platinum level, they have to have over 1,000 records to start with, which is excellent. But when we've done a few programs and working out dollars and cents, we've found that Kicking can reduce your overall AI cost by about 40% because of the high conception rate. And also then in terms of heifers that are available for you to pick as replacements to go back into your herd, you can end up with about 23% more heifers to pick from out of the progeny of Kicking, purely because of that.
Exactly.
And then what Kicking does do, which is really good, is very low birth weight, and then he's in the top 10% of the breed for 400-day growth, which is fabulous. And then finishes off with plus 30 for docility. So for commercial fellas, you're going to do your fixed time AI program, plenty of pregnancies, then plenty of unassisted born calves that really grow and then are really docile.
And are going to be structurally sound.
Absolutely. What more could you hope for? Okay, Fletch, look, we've discussed some of the new bulls that we've got in the catalogue and some of the up-and-comers we've got. Now we want to talk about the new kids in town.
Yes, the new kids in town.
Now, these bulls are going to be on a pink shaded background in the new sire directory, which will be out in about 2 to 3 weeks' time. Selecting these new kids in town's been a little bit different, shall I say the least, with everything that we've got going on. But we've tried desperately hard to make sure that the bulls that we're bringing in have got the integrity and the structural soundness and the EBV profile that you've all come to expect from the ABS bulls. I've enlisted the help of a number of people, and thanks go to Joe Jones and to Ben Lohman from ABS Global for giving me critique, giving me photos and giving me an understanding about the new bulls and what they have to offer. Also to the crew at Origin with the new bulls for taking foot photos for me and for developing some in-paddock video for me, and also to Ben Jasic from New Zealand, who fortunately got to see the bulls for us just before the COVID hit, and it was about his last stop in the US before he came out in March.
So the first of the brand new bulls, the new kids in town, Bill, that we'll be speaking about tonight is Hyken Broadview from JC Hyken and Sons in Montana in the USA. Bill, really impressive bull. Quite often what happens is we bring a bull out to Australia and then they become popular, but not in the case of Broadview. The talk, the hype, the interest surrounding this bull before we've even had semen in Australia has just been spectacular. So semen's just arrived, the bull's already incredibly popular out here, and I'm really keen to hear your thoughts and also the thoughts of Joe Jones.
Yeah, exactly, Fletch. And what was really interesting about Broadview is that it all started on sale day. Hyken is a relatively new herd that's come on the radar for us, but seem to be doing an exceptional job, and a few Aussies have been going down there to have a look. And the nice thing about him is the Vermilion Spur son out of a Sitz Logo female, and that gives him a little bit of a different twist to his pedigree. And a lot of the AI companies and other breeders went in there and thought they were going to steal a bull, but anyway, when the hammer fell, $82,000 later, the bull's in the ABS stable. So we're really excited to have him there, and we also know that other people were extremely disappointed not to get him. But maybe I'll just tell you what Joe thought about the bull. And also Ben contributed to this as well. But the things that they liked about the bull, what they really liked, the side profile of the bull. He had a lot of extension throughout. He was really clean fronted, a very deep bodied and attractive bull with a more length of spine. Standing behind him, they said that he had a pretty good base width and he's a calving ease bull. And at 1 year of age, his feet they thought were really good. And it's easy to note the foot quality his sire was passing on to his progeny, and they're thinking that this bull will be very sound and practical and will be making a big impact in the breed to come.
Absolutely, Bill. And as you said, we've had them registered here in Australia for a little while. We've had their genomic snips done, everything's analysed, we've got the EBVs here now. The bull himself offers tremendous growth and a real calving ease prospect, a low birth weight at around 2.5, and he's right out to 148 for his 600 day. He's also 4.2 for scrotal, so huge nuts, puts him in the top 1%. So for any seed stock breeders out there looking to increase their scrotal score, get on board this bull.
Exactly, and look, he's a bull that's also going to have some really good carcass value, and it's just going to take a little time for that to show itself.
So the second of our new bulls that we'll be talking about tonight is Square B True North Bill. He's a Sav Rainfall son from the States and a real calving ease prospect. So any breeders out there looking for a good heifer bull for stud use, this is your man, Bill.
Absolutely, and you just have a look on this video here, you'll just start to see the type that the bull's got. A few comments that the boys talk about is that he's a bull that will really hit you hard. They love the length of spine, they love the top strength of top, they love the hind quarter in the bull. He moves effortlessly and as smooth as a cat. And I would say that he's just a really attractive bull that's got dimension that'll appeal to people in a lot of ways. And he's a bull that from the time that he's bought, we've had people ringing up and asking us to bring in. So we've already got orders from him, and his semen will be here in about 3 weeks' time.
Another newbie that we should of course mention tonight, Bill, is Bar Jet Black. He's a Keneally Black Granite son, and we actually saw Black Granite in 2017 out at Origin, and we were really impressed with the bull and his feet. So we're expecting big things from Jet Black. What are your thoughts on the bull?
Yeah, absolutely, Fletch, and also coming out of an upward cow, which sort of gives him some added kudos as well. But he's a bull that's really come into his own in the US, a bull that a lot of people are flushing with and using extremely heavily. ABS have got him down in the US as a 3-star calving ease and a 3 stakes, so he's sort of got calving ease and he's got carcass, and also on top of that he's got growth in about the top 4% of the breed. So, but a bull that's got big bone again, and certainly got some muscle and got some softness to him. So a bull I think is going to really offer people an opportunity out here to Australia to diversify their genetics.
Yep.
And another new kid in town is GAR Refresh, a bull from the Gardeners program down in Kansas. And he's a little bit different from most Gardner bulls, as he's got a Gardens cachet, and then back into Momentum and then Daybreak. A bull that might not be in the $B plus 200 range yet, but just knocking on the door, but he's got adequate muscle, really nice shape to the bull, awesome feet and structure, and a bull that is certainly one that can come out of the Gardner program for us to use. And Fletch, what do Breed Plan have to say about him?
Yeah, Bill, it's really pleasing to see Refresh's EBVs come through. He's a real calving ease prospect, and not only is he only 3.8 for birth, but he's a real curve bender out to 150 for 600 day growth, so really good. He's got some EMA as well about him and a fair bit of IMF there too. So as we look at the bull here in the video, really handy looking calf, but what's even more impressive is his carcass data. He's 12 for EMA, so top 1%, and also 2.8 for IMF. So across the board, we're very pleased. EBV profile. But what's really exciting is that the bull himself has a heap of muscle to him, really nice muscle pattern, pretty deep flanked, wide base looking little calf. So yeah, we're really excited.
So Fletch and everybody, that summarises a few of the new kids in town that we've got. When the catalogue comes out, have a look in the pink section, because there'll be a couple of others. There's the Wan Ranch Full House bull, who's an outcross pedigree and really crazy numbers for IMF. So he'll be coming in a little bit later. But we really hope you've enjoyed this. So it's been a pleasure presenting it to you, and I'll throw over to Fletch.
Yeah, thanks Bill, and thanks everyone at home for watching, and once again thanks to Angus Australia for the opportunity to take part in the 2020 Angus Australia Bull Night. It's been a lot of fun, and apologies for our 70s outfits, but we hope you enjoyed.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sophia Edwards from Vetoquinol, Australia. As part of the Repro 360 project and proud partners of Angus Australia, we're here at the Spring Bull Night to bring you some information on how to manage your AI program this year. We understand you guys are here to look at the next and newest best Angus sires that might be available for your AI program. We understand that AI is an investment in the genetics of your herd for the future. Therefore, we've invited Dr. Penelope McGowan, a beef cattle reproduction specialist, to be able to give her tips and opinions on how to best run your AI program this year.
It really requires a fair bit of thought, and preparation is probably a good place to start. Those cows are going to calve. They're going to need a minimum of 60 days from when the last cow calves in order to allow their reproductive tracts to get back into shape again. And also remember, they're going to be under fairly high lactation stress during those 60 days, so they will need to be fairly closely monitored with regard to getting the right nutrition. They need to be in a forward score at least 3 at the time of the AI program. So they'll probably, if you're doing really well, they will calve in that condition or better, but they won't stay there. So just keep really close tabs on their nutrition. They may require a fresh paddock, they may require some supplement, they may require lick, depending on where you are and what you have available. It's pretty intensive when it comes time for the program. So the cows that have a better temperament, have been through the yards plenty of times before and haven't shown any adverse reaction to it, they're going to be the mob of cows that you're going to maximise your results with. Preparation, probably selecting genetics. If you are doing heifers, you need to look at the genetics you're going to use over those heifers. It's going to be their first calf. We don't want to end up with dystocias, and we don't want to end up with major problems at calving when you get that far. The second point with semen is if it's not in your tank at your yards or at your place, then you don't assume that the freight is going to get it there in a timely manner. We've had way too many disasters. It's not unusual for shippers to go dry and lose everything. Your injectable hormones, the other really important part about them is storage. There is a cold chain supply. They will come from wherever they come from, and you will be safe that they've arrived. Check that they're cold when they arrive. It is quite safe to store those products at, say, room temperature in the fridge, and that would be my recommendation. Needles are cheap. The important thing is getting that injection into the muscle of that cow and not taking in a whole pile of contamination and dust with you. So get that injection into that muscle cleanly, use a different needle for every cow. Factor in this whole program about putting an AI program together. I'm specifically talking about reproductive diseases. Have you had these diseases before? Do you test for these diseases? Are your cows in a closed herd? We need to look at the risk that your cows that are going into this program may have been exposed. Vaccination obviously is a way to be fairly accurately sure that you don't have the disease, and that's what we generally recommend for all AI programs, is to be up to date with vaccinations. We had a mob of AI cows that hadn't been vaccinated, but it was dry and they were being fed a ration through a self-feeder. Now, what we didn't know, and we didn't find out until later on when we started testing, is that the pigs were also joining them at the feeder, and these cows were full of lepto. So we're looking at a 25-30% conception rate. Now, that is a really, really bad result from the farmer, and it could have been avoided with the vaccinations. So we come to the program. Be sure that you have your protocol in front of you. Be sure that you put it into a calendar. Be sure that you are all over it, and that you're not going to miss the times and the days that you need to treat, and the drug, the hormone that you need to treat with. So really important that the bulls are secure, and if you can't control your bulls, or you can't make your bulls that secure, keep the cows in a yard for that period of time. If you have an issue, if you look at your diary and you missed an injection, or if you've given an injection early, and whatever it is, it happens. It's human nature, but please be in communication with whoever it is that's supplying the program and the protocols, whether that's back to your AI tech, back to your vet, back to Vetoquinol, and we can generally adjust things so that we can make this program work. The protocol is the protocol. Please don't cut corners, even things like the heat patch which you put on. We need to have that, even though in our particular case we scan every ovary and look for a follicle at AI time. We need to see that those Estrotec heat patches are going off during that time. Have a look at them when they're on heat. Don't stick them out in the holding paddock and forget about them until the next day. Just attention to detail. It's a big investment on your part. It's really important to have a good vet crush that has a kick gate and has a vet box at the back. Not only from a safety perspective, but again from a timing perspective, and for a low stress, improved welfare outcome. have yards that have water in them, good clean water that they can access, that all of them can access easily, and enough space in that yard that you can have hay available and they've got place to sit down and be happy. Now, one thing I can say, and again I can't measure it, but happy cows seem to get very good results. Usually we say put your coveralls out 10 days after you AI, so we are looking at a 65 to 75% take rate on your AI program. So that, do the calculation, how many cows or heifers are likely to be cycling in that next window, and make sure there's enough bull power there for them. Again, artificial reproduction is not natural service, so we need to make sure that you don't spend all this time and effort in getting the nutrition right and getting the program right, and then just putting them out in the paddock and forgetting about them. Keep tabs on them, make sure they've got plenty of feed in front of them, plenty of energy, and do yourself a favour, go for a drive 21 days, 20 to 23 days after that program, and you have a bit of a look there, see what's going on, and that'll give you a little bit of an insight into how you went with your program. Preg testing, generally we'll do that 6 weeks after the program. If you want to spin that mob around and re-AI, we can do an earlier preg test than that and start the next program at the time of the preg test.
Hello, I'm Ben Main from Texas Angus. Wendy and I would like to thank the Angus Society for allowing us to go into the Angus Spring Bull Night again. We're the only stud to do so. This is our second year of doing it, in amongst all Australia's and overseas semen companies. Before we go on with it, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to all our clientele that came to our bull sale this year. We had a tremendous day last Thursday. The top price bull was $108,000. We averaged just over $14,000. It was tremendous, and the confidence that's happening is tremendous, considering we've just gone through the worst drought in history, a 4-year drought, and now we've combated COVID as well, and people were still confident enough to come down and do what they did. A lot of the interesting information we're getting back with the confidence of what's happening is, firstly, what we've been achieving with a lot of our feeder and carcass trials in the last 5 to 6 years. We've consistently been the highest daily weight gain in the feeder competition. We've been the heaviest carcass weights. We've been the most profitable cattle in the competition. And also we've been achieving with these high performing Angus cattle, we've also had either the highest or the second highest marbling. So it's not only the quantity and the quality is there as well. So, and a lot of people have been looking at how we've benchmarked there, and it's proving to pay big dividends. Probably another point that, particularly with our spread of clientele, like we've sold bulls to Western Australia, South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, and with the geographical spread of our clients, the big one that a lot of those fellas are looking at is our longevity of our bulls, survivability and profitability all matching in together. We've got clients up in, as far as Cloncurry and further up north that consistently have been buying our bulls for, nearly 15 years, even more some of them. And the reason why they keep coming back is because they survive. And what they're getting when they're selling, they're proving to be 40, 60 kilos heavier at yearlings and further on. Well, we got another interesting text last night from a very dear client of ours from Alice Springs, and he showed us a photo of an L bull which he bought 3 years ago, and they've had less than 2 inches for the last 2 years each year. And here is this bull walking through the country out there chasing cows, and he was fit and strong and was doing it really good, and he said, this is why we keep coming back. And so anyway, it's good to know where the confidence lies in the industry, and enough of this, and we'll start talking about our bulls we're featuring tonight. Before I mention our semen size, every animal at Texas Angus originates back to the 22 heifers and 1 bull imported from Scotland by the Scottish Australian Company back in 1936. Texas Power Play was bought by Kelly's Angus, Select Size Worldwide and Worldwide Size Australia for a stud record of $108,000. Lorna Marshall of Select Size is so excited to have an Australian bred bull she can market globally. Interest is already in Europe, North and South America, New Zealand and domestically. The 3 flush brothers of the sale averaged over $53,000. Plus we are retaining 2 flush brothers for in-herd use only. Power Play is an exceptional phenotype bull, tremendous length of body, plenty of width down the spine, athletic, good structured, good temperament and superb set of EBVs. H640 Sun has sold 12 sons for an average of $26,000. I don't think there's too many females that could match her credentials. Power Play is no fluke. His maternal brother, No Regrets, has been used by many studs in Australia, with just about all of them wanting to reuse or have reused him again. Texas Angus has exclusive semen rights to one of America's hottest AI sires, Post Maverick, top 1% for marbling and structure. It is rare to find a high marbling sire with such phenotype and structure. We have calves hitting the ground now and will be selling sons and semen of these sons next year. Never before have we ever been so excited about this bull's progeny. Texas Presso. There is no other bull in the breed this year that has the birth to growth spread. The perfect bull for the weaner Vila market. Complete outcross genetics, sold to Gibson Angus and contracted to Worldwide Sires. The investment sons averaged $20,000 in this year's sale. He is in the top 1% for gestation, 2, 4 and 600 day weight, carcass weight, very moderate bull in both birth and frame, high fat, puppy dog quiet, 28 kilos born, you can't go wrong. Texas Handyman. Wendy has called him Brad Pitt because he is so good looking. He is one outstanding, very stylish, structurally correct, moderate young sire. He's the second handyman son we have retained in the stud. He is so well balanced, both in phenotype and EBVs. A very easy bull to use over all types of Angus females. 34 kilos born by the Canamble handyman who has grossed over $700,000 in sales alone. 3.9 for birth to 125 for 600 days. He is 8.3 for EMA and 3.1 for IMF. He is out of a deep, heavy fleshing Infinity female that has bred so well. Brad Pitt is an absolute no-brainer. Texas NASA. He was our #1 pick of last year's drop. NASA is a big, strong, well-boned, heavy fleshing K2 son out of a very thick, heavily built, moderate tour of duty female. K2 sons average just under $15,000 for 19 sons. NASA has stamped his calves with early gestation with good bone and real strength and stature. Texas Nockatunga, one of the most proven pedigrees at both Texas Angus and across Australia, with full brothers selling to Western Australia, South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales, and their progeny topping sales in all of these states. This is the true power of genetics when progeny can perform as well as their sires sold. He is a full ET brother to Texas Undyne H647, the mother of the $108,000 Lot 6 Power Play. You will not get any more consistent with genetics than this. And for the last bull of our semen sires, Texas Mount Capitar M100. He has been described as a good bottle of wine, just keeps getting better with age. A full brother to Texas Mount K2. A real proven carving ease performance pack bull with style to burn. Sons were highly sought after in this year's sale, topping at $17,000. His dam Texas Undyne Z183 is the most prolific cow at Texas, grossing over $900,000 in bull sales alone. Hope you've enjoyed viewing our semen size tonight. We really think the bulls speak for themselves. Anyone would like to contact us, call me on 0427 295 039. Good night.
We've been offering graphic design services to our members and we've seen a huge amount of growth in that. We offer everything from logos to sale colour design and complete rebrands. We can help with everything from their website and Fairfax advertising, organising things for social media, to anything that goes in your videos. We can absolutely help you for everything.
Hi everybody, Nigel here from Genetics Australia. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Genetics Australia presentation for the Angus Spring Bull Night. Grab yourself a drink, sit back and relax as we give you a presentation on a cross-section of the great team of Angus sires available from Genetics Australia. It's our great pleasure to also have Aaron Arnett join us tonight from ST Genetics to share his views and thoughts on some of the bulls that we have available in Australia from ST Genetics. And of course, if you ever have any questions or queries about any of our bulls, feel free to contact me anytime at the contact details at the end of the presentation. Thanks very much and have a great night. Our first sire this evening is Rennie Kodak K522. Kodak has been a mainstay of the Genetics Australia program for a number of years, proving to be extremely popular with commercial and seed stock producers right across the country. Kodak's also a member of the Angus Australia benchmarking program. He's a Rennie Edmund son out of a Tasmania Berkeley daughter. Kodak is one of the only proven calving ease sires with extra carcass merit and positive feet EBVs currently available. His elite calving ease is +11 for calving ease direct, 10.6 for calving ease daughters. He offers a -6.5 gestation length and a 1.6 birth weight. Kodak's quickly earned himself the reputation of being Mr. Fix-It. If you need a sire to fix your calving ease, your birth weight, your scrotal, improve feet and legs, IMF, Kodak's your first choice. His progeny are born easy and have ample growth. His sons were highly sought after in spring sales in 2019, and his sons being sold in the spring of 2020 are also now creating a lot of demand. Kodak is a member of the Genetics Australia Commercial Advantage program, giving commercial producers an opportunity to use one of the breed's most proven sires at a discounted price. We also have female sex semen available in Kodak, so contact Genetics Australia to discuss the use of sex semen in your breeding program. Thanks very much, Aaron, for joining us tonight and sharing your thoughts on a lot of the ST bulls that we're very happy to be selling here in Australia. One of the first bulls we'd like to talk about tonight is GAR Drive, if you'd like to share your thoughts.
Sure. Well, thanks, Nigel, and thanks for the opportunity to be on here. I appreciate the Australian Angus Society for allowing us to give a presentation and have a presence here with your association membership. I tell you, we've got some great friends from Australia, and I've always enjoyed visiting with our Australian breeder friends when they come over to visit. I've enjoyed the times that I've been able to visit with Nigel and breeders in Australia. And in my opinion, Australia has some of the most progressive Angus breeders in the world, and where you really value the use of genetic and genomic tools, but you also remember the fundamentally important things about making good cows. So it's kind of fun to be on this evening, and we really appreciate the opportunity to provide our genetics to our Australian breeder friends. Let's start and visit a little bit about GAR Drive. He's a momentum son that's been in our lineup for several years now. He would have been one of the first bulls from Gardner's that we brought in when we started the ST Beef program back in 2016. One of the unique things about him is so many of these high growth, high carcass merit cattle are very large for stature. And Drive was unique in that he was fairly moderate or conservative for size, but still, I think when we bought him in the top 1% for ribeye area, and I think he's in the top 1% for eye muscle area on your Australian EBVs. So to find a bull that has his carcass merit but still have moderate yearling height, moderate mature size, and moderate cow weights makes him pretty unique. He's been used extensively. The Keneally program, the Gardner program, several programs have used him. He's a high fertility bull that's been used successfully in heifers as well.
Lawson's Momentous M518 needs little introduction. Rated by many as the #1 GR Momentum son available to the AI industry. Momentous is an eye-catching sire with figures that rank him among the elite within the Angus breed. Momentous currently sits at #3 for registrations in the Spring Sire Summary. Look at the combination of his EMA and IMF. Very few sires have a combination that rank in the top 1% for both traits. The easiest way to describe Momentous is a sound-footed sire, deep-bodied, slick-coated, very docile and hard to fault. Momentous has been scrutinised by many Australian breeders that have come to inspect him at the bull stud. He's received the tick of approval from all, with everybody ordering semen as they leave. Do a search among all the young sires coming through in the Q drop calves. You'll see that all the high carcass merit, high indexing sires are all going to be sired by Momentous. Momentous semen is available in both conventional male and female semen. So if you're looking for a sire that's going to add docility and put your carcass merit at the top of the breed, then you should consider using Lawson's Momentous M518. One of our most popular calving ease sires here in Australia, Aaron, and I'm sure with you as well, has been Black Onyx. Since the release of the single-step genomics, his data really took off. He's been extremely popular with commercial and steed stock producers here, chasing that really good calving ease, low birth weight, and extremely high growth. What's your thoughts on Black Onyx?
Black Onyx is a Keneally Black Granite son out of a full sister to Rampage that's in our lineup. And, you know, he was early on, was identified as a calving ease bull, but then when we came out in the U.S. with single-step genomics in 2017, Black Onyx would have been one of the high indexing bulls in our lineup for a number of traits. So he really looked good on our new indexes back then, and a lot of seed stock producers used him, but he's also found a lot of appeal with commercial breeders. One of the unique things about Black Onyx is he combines calving ease and growth in a unique way. He's excellent choice for heifers, really long-bodied, sleek kind of calves that come out easy. There's excellent vigor in these calves when they're born, but then they just take off and grow. And if you look at him on the Australian EBVs, why he's be in the top couple % of the breed for direct calving ease, but still very high for 400-day weight, and he's in the top 2% of the breed. So a high indexing bull that looks really good on your EBV profile, a bull that's been very popular here in the U.S.
Storthoak's Fully Loaded is a new sire to join the Genetics Australia team this year. He's also part of our Horizon Young Sire program. He's a Rennie Leal 508 son out of a stylish Burramuka inspired daughter who's had 3 sons previously sell through the Storthoak sale ring and got in calf to AI 5 years in a row. Fully Loaded was a $28,000 high-selling bull in the 2020 Storthoaks bull sale in New Zealand. If you search the New Zealand database, no other Angus sires in New Zealand can match Fully Loaded's combination of calving ease, birth weight, 600-day growth, and intramuscular fat EBVs. He's a sire who offers a complete package of calving ease, breed-leading growth, high carcass merit, superb docility, and excellent structure. Fully Loaded scored 6s on all his beef class rear and front leg structure scores. Semen is expected to arrive very soon, and as I mentioned before, he's available on our Horizon Young Sire program. For more information on that, refer to the Genetics Australia 2020 Beef Sire catalogue. So Aaron, one of the most popular bulls in Genetics Australia's program in the last couple of years, actually since we first saw him as a yearling bull at Chad Ellingson's a number of years ago on a tour with you guys, is the S PowerPoint bull. His first sons are starting to sell here in Australia this year. Guys just really love the calving ease. They love the growth. The daughters, the daughters that are just about to calve, the comments already are they got really nice udders on them. So, what do you really think of PowerPoint?
Yeah, PowerPoint's been one of the really popular bulls here in the U.S. as well, Nigel. As you referenced, the phenotype in this bull is incredible. I mean, he's just awesome, structured, really good set of feet and legs under him, but a big-bodied, really deep-sided bull that's got a big hip in him, lots of muscle expression. Probably one of the most impressive views on this guy is that rear view. He's big-hipped, really wide through his rump and quarter, got tons of volume and capacity. And those things are going to transmit into some daughters that flesh really nice, but also make really good market cattle. One of the reasons we identified PowerPoint is his herd that he comes from, the Spickler family, is highly respected here in the U.S. for their focus on cow traits, maternal traits, fertility, longevity, feet and legs, udder quality. And so all those things are kind of in place back through the pedigree of PowerPoint. But the other thing is he's a little bit of an outcross for some traits for us. He would have been in the top couple % of the breed for IMF, intramuscular fat on our scale. He would have been a bull that's got excellent calving ease. He's been used heavily in both commercial and seed stock application for yearling heifers. And so we're excited about him. We've got the first daughters in production here in the U.S. They're just beautiful, beautiful cows, beautiful uddered. And we think he's gonna, maybe his best days are ahead of him in terms of being defined as a cow maker.
Our next sire is somewhat an outcross to a number of the modern day pedigrees. S. Chisholm 255 is an S. Chisholm 6175 son out of a Shipwell Chinook daughter. Chisholm hails from the same herd as S. PowerPoint, being the Spickler herd in North Dakota. Chisholm's been a high demand sire for a number of years, and we're very pleased to announce that we have good supply of semen for 2020. He's a sire who will add dimension and mass to his progeny. He's structurally sound and breeds very feminine daughters with excellent udders. In 2019, Chisholm had 6 yearling sons sold for an average of $22,666 in the Millamurra Angus sale, where Genetics Australia were fortunate enough to secure the marketing rights of Millamurra Pepper, who's a Chisholm son. So keep an eye out for both S. Chisholm 255 and his outstanding son, Millamurra Pepper P110. Now, in the past 12 months, the industry's seen quite a number of GAR Surefire sons join a lot of AI companies' teams. We're pretty lucky you've found GAR Reliant. He seems to tick a lot of boxes, great phenotype, great feet and legs, great set of EBVs.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys have found him because I've had the good fortune to work with a lot of Gardner bulls over the years. And I can tell you without question that Reliant is easily the best phenotype, most impressive bull out of the Gardner program that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. And I actually saw Reliant yesterday at the Bull Stud here in Ohio. And man, he has just matured into such an impressive individual. He's just huge bodied. I mean, this bull just looks like he swallowed a barrel. And he's just big hipped, really wide at all 4 corners of his body. Super docile, just a great mannered bull that's got great feet and legs under him. You know, for a surefire son, you talk about feet and leg structure. That one sets him down in a big way. He's got a big footprint to him, but very symmetrical in his toes, good in his heel depth. Just an impressive beef bull, regardless of what program he comes from. For us, he's been one of the most heavily used growth and carcass merit bulls here in the U.S. And I noticed that he's in the top 1% of the breed for all 4 of your Australian indexes. And so I think, you know, your data sets match ours pretty well in terms of where this bull fits for being high for growth, high for marbling, high for muscle and carcass weight. So we sure are excited about this bull. We think he's unique. And we can't wait to see the sons that start to sell out of him here.
If you're searching for a fair income growth sire that'll add some punch and some power to your herd, look no further than Top Boss Leading Edge L292. He's a GR Profit son out of Tasmania, Berkeley. He's a leading growth GR Profit son available in Australia. Leading Edge currently ranks in the top 1% for 8 individual EBVs and indexes. Leading Edge sons have been highly sought after in sales across New South Wales, with sons topping Booragul and Farah Angus sales in spring of 2020, and his sons at the Dunoon Autumn sale were standouts and highly sought after. His progeny exhibit plenty of muscle, body depth, and excellent docility. Leading Edge is an impressive sire on inspection. If you're looking for a sire that's highly proven, backed by data from the Angus Australia benchmarking program, look no further than Top Boss Leading Edge L292. Millamurra Pepper was the $34,000 second high-selling yearling bull in the 2019 Millamurra Bull Sale, sired by the highly sought-after sire S. Chisholm 255 out of the popular cow Millamurra Rado H34, a Tasmania Emperor daughter. H34 has sired 4 sons that have sold for over $20,000 in the Millamurra Bull Sale. Pepper is a structurally correct young sire who combines the genetics of S. Chisholm 255, Tasmania Emperor, and Millamurra Woody. Pepper is a member of the Genetics Australia Horizon Young Sire program and our Commercial Advantage program, giving both our commercial and seed stock customers access to this young. With the combination of Chisholm 255 and Tasmania Emperor, we expect Pepper will be a sire that will add length and capacity and top-line muscle to his progeny, whilst keeping his daughters feminine with nice udders. One of our young sires whose progeny are already starting to create a lot of interest is Millamurra Nectar. Nectar is a Canamble Hector son out of an Ithenbray Henry VIII daughter. Nectar was the youngest bull to sell in the 2018 Millamurra sale, and he sold for $40,000 to Chris and Natalie Patterson of Hart Angus. Nectar scored 5s for all his feet and leg structure. His progeny this year are already creating a lot of interest in the Millamurra sale lineup. Nectar is a member of the Genetics Australia Commercial Advantage program, so it's a great opportunity for commercial producers to use such an outstanding young sire. Aaron, one of our most popular bulls is Musgrave 316 Exclusive. He's one of the first LD capitalist sons to be available in Australia. He's been a very popular bull on some of our tours to the US. The Australians that have been there to see him have really loved him. What are your thoughts on Exclusive?
Yeah, Nigel, I have to give you some credit here. This is a bull you helped us find on one of your tours in the US. And, you know, he has been a huge success for us in the US. In fact, Exclusive is the #1 selling bull at ST Genetics for our beef program in 2020. And for good reason. The bull's got a lot of unique things going for him. You know, just like in Australia, the LD capitalist line of cattle has been extremely popular. But I would tell you that Exclusive, I think, brings some additional things over his sire, or maybe complements some things that are deficiencies that you find in the old sire. One of those things is Exclusive, just a bigger outline, a little bigger frame bull that's got a little more growth. I think these cattle will have a little more performance, a little more stature to them, maybe than the old LD capitalist cattle. Really like the bottom side of the pedigree on this one. The dam and the Grand Dam have got outstanding production records. They're solid cows. They're proven cows that anybody would really like and appreciate if you'd see them in person. If you study Exclusive in terms of his EBVs, right, you know, he's an awesome balanced trait sire. He gets used some in heifers here in the U.S., although he wouldn't be just an extreme heifer bull, but people have been using him in heifers, but he's still got lots of growth. You know, he'd be in the top couple % of the breed for your EBVs for 200- and 400-day weights. And if you look at his carcass traits for being that high growth, he's a bull that's still positive for fat. And that's a kind of a unique combination in him. And that's something that I think Australian breeders would really appreciate.
One of the most exciting young bulls to join the Genetics Australia team late in 2019 was Warrawee Patrol P29. Patrol is the first Pathfinder Genesis son available in AI in Australia. Patrol's pedigree combines proven Australian sires, Pathfinder Genesis, Airvale General G18 and Ardrossan Direction W109. He's an exciting new calving ease prospect, double-digit calving ease EBVs combined with short gestation length and low birth weight. Add to that his superb growth EBVs with all his growth traits in the top 5% of the breed, combined with some excellent carcass merit, including being positive for fat, top 20% for IMF, top 10% for EMA. Look at all the traits in the EBV table highlighted green. They're all in the top 10%. Patrol's a young sire with a bright future. It's very difficult to browse past such an impressive set of EBV data. Patrol's also a member of our Horizon Young Sire program and Commercial Advantage program. SS Niagara Z29 is a Hoover Dam son out of a BRNU Day 454 daughter. This outcross calving ease sire really bends the growth curve. Niagara continues to impress here in Australia. His progeny are docile, they're born easy, they're loaded with muscle, and his daughters look very feminine, great udders, deep-bodied, and easy doing. Niagara is your first choice sire to breed highly productive females. Take a look at his dam and great-grand dam. He's a logical choice for any customer seeking a proven calving ease sire that blends growth and muscle. Niagara is available in conventional semen. He's also available in male and female sex semen. Our next sire is a new sire that joined Genetics Australia in late 2019, Kenny's Creek Pinnacle P481. Although new to the team, his pedigree is very well known to Genetics Australia. His sire, GR Momentum, and maternal grandsire, GR Profit, are two of Genetics Australia's most proven high carcass merit sires. Dig further back into his pedigree and you'll also find Ardrossan Equator A241 as his great maternal grandsire. Pinnacle offers balanced birth weight and growth EBVs, backed by some high-end carcass merit. If you're a herd looking for high IMF, Pinnacle offers a plus 5.3 IMF EBV. Pinnacle has semen available that's conventional, male and female sex semen. Pinnacle is also a member of the Genetics Australia Commercial Advantage team. So if you're looking for a sire that will offer you a balanced set of EBVs, a little extra IMF, flawless leg structure, great docility, then Pinnacle is a bull you should consider. Aaron, we're pretty excited to have TK Driller join our team in May this year, so he's only just arrived. He's the first Sigean enhanced son to come into our team. I know you've got a few enhanced sons joining the ST team, so there must be a bit of merit to what you like about that bull, but also what do you like about Driller?
Sure. Well, if you're a believer in genomics, if you want to be an early adopter of technology, these enhanced cattle genomic extremely well. And he's been very popular in the U.S. for that reason. Now, Driller is, I think, a unique enhanced son. There's lots of choices in the marketplace, at least here in the U.S. And Driller is one of those ones that just lit up the genomic markers, Nigel. I mean, he would have been outstanding for growth, outstanding for carcass traits on our system and our genomic system. We brought him in as a high indexing bull. We use the dollar beef index quite a bit. This bull would be in the top 1% of the breed for our growth and carcass traits and our dollar beef index. And so, you know, he's a bull that I think is just super unique in terms of his ability to add some stature, add some pounds, add some growth and performance in a package that you really like. We're getting ready to repicture that bull this fall, your spring, and we'll have a really nice presentation of that bull hopefully coming up here in a few months. I saw him yesterday. I would describe him as an extremely smooth-shouldered, long-necked bull. I wouldn't have any reservation using him in heifers. And to talk about pairing his calving ease with extremely high growth, it makes him super unique in the population.
For more information on any of the Genetics Australia bulls, you can follow us on Facebook, look up the videos on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, check out the Genetics Australia website, or for the latest EBVs, you can always go to the Genetics Australia online semen directory on the Angus Australia website. I'd like to thank Angus Australia for hosting us tonight. We hope you enjoyed it, and take care, and we'll see you all soon.
Performance recording continues to be a key part of a breeding program because it's only with the collection of performance information that we can accurately describe traits and the use of the information to drive the direction of the breeding program. Whether the traits are part of the taste analysis or produced as part of recent work into research breeding values, the Angus Education Centre provides the detail required for the collection of the performance recording information, so check it out. We now move to our next presenter.
G'day everyone, Rob Onley here in sunny Western Victoria for your Spring Angus Bull Night of 2020. We've got the Agri-Gene bulls to come up. If you want more detailed information, just jump into that search bar at YouTube there, and each of the bulls we talk about tonight, there'll be an extended version with some more information on those bulls and maybe more input from the breeders as well. So we've looked at a lot of bulls in the last couple of weeks, as well as we've seen a lot of cows and females, daughters, yearlings, the lot, everything we could to try and bring to you in this sort of tough time to get around. As much information as we can. We're pretty excited about the bulls we've got coming up, and we'll go through them here shortly. We kick the proceedings off tonight with a bull called Canamble Nicknat up from over in Western Australia. Discovery goes back to the famous Rosebud cow over there. Sensational bull to look at, just oozes style with balance, a really complete bull even when you get down to his EBVs. He just across the board really covers a lot of bases, bit of a box ticker there. First calves are hitting the ground at Murderduke just as we speak, coming out of heifers, low 30s, and we're pretty excited. That bull offers tremendous calving ease for your heifers, as well as quite a bit of carcass data there as well, and in a package that's phenotypically really appealing. So we look forward to what he has to hold, and there'll be more to come from him. Just that real flank, I think, that a lot of breeders have been looking for in their bulls, you know, a bit more capacity about those bulls with some numbers. So I think he's worth a look for those balanced type breeders. Glenot Macahoo, you've heard me talk about him a few times. Reality Sun, super strong type, slick skin, got a fair bit of muscle to him, pretty appealing bull when you see him in the flesh. Some reports coming in now on progeny. I've seen a few sort of yearling age bulls, heifers around the place, 2 or 3 different places. The footsore data suggests that the claw is less than average and the heel is above average. I would say his claw is really good and actually probably above average, but the heel, he probably needs a little protection there. He might be average. We'll hear from Ben, see what he's got to say about the bull. He's pretty pleased and continues to work with him. Just got a couple of questions for you, Ben, on Macahoo, the bull himself, how he's travelling, stuff like that. So first question I had for you was sort of what drew you to Macahoo in the beginning and purchasing the bull, I suppose?
Taken by his type and presence, and I guess negotiations went from there between Justin and I, seeking information and production history on the dam and the maternal side of his pedigree. Full stop. Yep.
So some of those key points, I suppose, was his phenotype, I guess, initially, and then the pedigree and the history in that cow family, was it? Or
absolutely.
Once you got him home and you've had him there for a while now, has he lived up to those expectations, I suppose, that you first saw in the bull?
Yeah, he's held up particularly well. We often encounter structural changes, more heel depth and claw shape and that sort of thing, bringing cattle out of different areas into our soil type and country, and he has held up particularly well, and is really got a very good work ethic and can handle a heavy workload and holds his condition tremendously well.
Give us a couple of maybe the strongest points in the bull.
Probably the points of his progeny are following on from his strong points, like they've got a good amount of frame, like they're average to bigger than average in frame, a lot of body length and strong spine, and you get behind the cattle and they've got a really deep wide hindquarter and set up on very good feet and legs. And we've used him to as a structure improver, and he seems to be doing a good solid job in that role.
Pathfinder Fat Cat, if you can get your eyes up off the paper there and have a look at this bull in the flesh and in the pictures there that we've got of him, maybe some video as well, He represents a bull to me that has quite a bit of frame, maybe a 6.5, touch more, with still carrying adequate muscle, probably even adds muscle, the bull, with his outlook. He topped the sale there in South Australia for Pathfinder earlier this year. He's now finds a new home at Murderduke. Outstanding sort of sire outlook to the bull, as well as pretty appealing at ground level. I think this bull can go a long way. He's still on some edge allocation there if you want to get into him. $12.50, bloody absolute bargain, I think. So you can't find a bull with numbers like that and that sort of value in that sort of phenotype package. I think is one of the best value options for you for the spring. Now we'll have a look at a bull called Plantation. A beast mode son, and bear in mind I will get to beast mode later, but he has, with unprecedented demand on that bull earlier this year, we thought we'd better get out and find a couple of sons that we can hopefully fill the gap with on him, and we looked high and low and tried to cover as many bases as we could with a beast mode son. I think this fella probably ticks nearly all the boxes we can. He's got outstanding sort of data and a phenotype that we've got a new photo here, much better than what we got in the catalogue earlier this year. He's got quite a bit of shape, as we've seen with most of the beast modes. He holds a good top. I think the feet look pretty promising. The pedigree says the feet should be good, so I'm pretty excited. Moves across the ground and has a real sire look to him, you know, like he walks around the joint like he owns the place. So I think there's a lot to come from this bull. There's cows in calf there, or heifers in calf up at Cluny Range, so we'll test out his calf and his data and get that to you as soon as we can. Now I wanted to talk to you about a bull you all know about, Esselmont Lotto. Now, there's no perfect bull in any of our lineup really, and if you think there is, you're probably listening to the wrong video, but Lotto's a bull. He's been outstanding for us. If you go down and have a look through his data, there's probably barely a bull that touches him, especially on carcass with that sort of EMA and eye muscle, you know, near to positive fat. Sensational there. Also, you know, the bulls sell. They make money for people. Top to sale at Nick's. Also up at Greg Chappell's in New South Wales there, they averaged $12,400, top of 24 for the highest price bull, top of 22 for the second price bull, both Lottos. We really like what this bull's doing. For us, one of our key points on bulls is bulls that make money for people. People turn up to sales and want to buy these bulls, so I think he's a no-brainer. If you haven't used him yet, you know, I think you can find a spot for him. Now, one of your older stalwarts we had a look at down the paddock was Lotto. He's out joining a group of cows. You're still going along with him, and he's going all right for you?
He is. He started off going absolutely gangbusters. Yeah, and we pulled back a little bit when we first saw the foot scores and things, and I was thinking, oh, this could be, you know, something we need to give a miss on. But the feet, the bull himself, the feet, they're not special, but they're short, and he gets around the paddock. And
well, we popped him out in the lane, got him up on the gravel, and we can flick up a photo for you if you like. You can see his feet there.
We've got cows in the herd now, and their feet just do not go anywhere. They do have a little bit of foot curl, but he's just not. It just sits there and doesn't do anything. You know, it doesn't grow. They're nice and short, and it's just. I don't think it's an issue at all.
Yeah. So you're not losing those young cows, I suppose, out of the herd. They're not dropping out.
We haven't culled one on feet, so he's going to be. I think he's going to be super duper now.
Yeah, excellent. We've got Picasso P9, who is a bull that we put into the Edge program there last year with pretty outstanding data, a Judd son, same cow family as the bull I'll talk about in a minute, Mo. Just seen him here the other day. He's outstanding sort of bull with plenty of flesh on him, and also good fat cover. So we see Picasso with his first few calves just starting to rack up some data now on his calving ease. I think he's locked himself in as a heifer bull, so look to him for that calving ease bull with heaps of growth, plenty of power, maybe just needs a little protecting behind the shoulder, but outside of that, he's a pretty hard bull not to use. Chilton Park Mo. He's certainly set himself up now as a household name with bulls topping sales in South Australia earlier this year. I was at Heath's. We'll talk to him shortly about what he thinks about the bull and how he's gone for him. Yeah, I just think he's a bull that's no miss sire for us. We're really lucky to have him, and pretty exciting to see what he's going to do for everyone going forward. He's a real crossover bull that fits the commercial market on heifers and gives people growth, as well as a bull that stud guys can use, and you know those bulls are going to sell well and make plenty of money for those guys. I'll ask Keith. He's got some of the earliest Mo calves around. He's got some 2-year-old heifers that you might see some photos of. How have you found Mo?
Yeah, really good. He's obviously a very good calving ease bull, and we had bulls in that P sale, and they sold really well. One top sale. Yeah, like I said, calving ease, long cattle, great udders, temperaments, yeah, magnificent, and yeah, feet are spot on. So
He told me my manhood was on the line about this bull. The bull's called Mo. He was a young bull at the time. I put a bit of faith in him, and you put a bit of faith in me. How's that bull worked out for you?
Mo has actually turned out I'm very happy with him, and we will have another crack at him. He's a calving ease bull that we've used over a wide range of cattle. Very consistent and tight. Very good for calving ease. Long bodies, soft. Yeah, he's definitely a line that is worked really well with the maternal lines of Texas. So yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm safe for now.
Yeah, only now.
Really impressed with Mo. He's a bull that we trialled as one of the edge size that you had, and really liked him. There's just does so many things right, and I think that's where we want to be in this job. We want to find a bull that doesn't do too many things wrong. Like, and he's one of those bulls. We've got a son here that we'll probably use ourselves in as an AI sire. So yeah, no, really impressed with him.
We're pretty confident in the bull. I think he's a pretty hard bull not to use. You look at all the data, you look at the bull himself, he's selling like hotcakes, so I suggest you get your order in if you're thinking of using him this spring. We're here with Cody from Gen X, Cody Sankey. Cody, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your role at Gen X there?
Yeah, so I've been with Gen X going on 4 years now, and I was recently promoted to Associate Vice President of Beef Programs.
Well, why don't we jump into a couple of those bulls? Why don't you tell us a little bit about Brickyard? He's a bull that I saw back 12 months ago, I think right now, down in Missouri. Pretty sound-footed bull, I thought. So we've gone into using a little bit of him here in bits and pieces, but maybe you can shed a bit of light on what you think about that bull.
This bull here, a Niagara son, but what's cool about him is he's probably the best calving east son of Niagara. He came out of a really good daybreak cow from Stewart's, backed by a strong productivity record there on the bottom side. Niagara offers a no-holes EPD package, calving ease growth, adequate marbling, big muscle. There's a lot of good things in that bull. The other thing about him is, a good semen producer, a bull that's strong in our preg check ranking.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited, and I've dabbled him into a few herds, but he's just starting to get traction. I suppose he's a new bull for a lot of people, so we'll see calves here probably next autumn, and for us.
Yeah.
A bull I'm starting to see some calves on has piqued my interest too just lately. I think they're quite thick, and they're coming easy too, I suppose, to start with for us is a bull called Rainmaker.
This guy here has used heavily in some of the most prominent, best breeders across the country. Linscoff Thiel used him. You've seen him used around the countryside. A bull that's going to improve udders, improve feet, calving ease, performance. Just a straight down the middle, keep you out of the ditch is kind of a bull. Got good performance, good carcass. And he's a good bull visually. If you go to Billings and see him, you'll like his feet. You'll like what you see. The daughters in production, they're doing a tremendous job. Bason's gone back to using him. Another one of the top 3 sellers at Gen X.
Oh, really?
So yep. See about him moving down the road.
Another bull, yeah, I mean, I don't know there's too much more to say about this bull. The bull I've seen too is a bull called Bruin Talk.
A bull that, another female maker, foot improver, udder is there. Really comes from a tried and true line, a cow family, backed by a tremendous power cow. I think a bull that's going to add longevity, foot quality, udder quality, a lot of things there for him to be successful with.
SAV Resource, a bull I've seen in the US, outstanding muscle. He's a ripping bull to look at. And, there's not much we can say about this bull that hasn't been said already. But what I will say, we had the pleasure of touring the Premier Angus females before their dispersal here just a week or so ago. And I urge you to go there and have a look. They're pretty phenomenal looking cows. And a lot of resource daughters in there, blew me away. Couldn't leave him out of the video. There's 300 doses left. I think if that's not gone by the time this video goes to air, I'll be surprised. But, you know, he's a pretty awesome bull, and there's going to be no more semen. He's dead. Packs punch into cattle. There's no two ways about it. This bull puts meat in. He doesn't miss on feed either. They're quite rock solid. If you need capacity in your cattle and you're looking for a bit of grunt and a bit of muscle, I mean, he's a no-brainer. Another SAV bull I spoke a little bit about last year was Abundance. Now this is a bull I had to beg a few breeders to really get into to use, but once they used him, they've come back and had another crack at him. I mean, this bull gives you all that substance and style that you like from resource or renown. He's actually a renowned son out of a net worth female. You know, every time I get asked, oh, you know, what bull have you got that's got a bit of substance to him, you know. He's the first bull I put up, Abundance. It says it all in his name. You know, limited probably semen on him, but still I think he's worth a crack. He's a pretty cool bull. One of my probably personal favourites is a bull called Blaster. I've seen a few of these different places in the US, and they're starting to pop up in herds here in Australia, and they're probably a couple of guys that have used them. They've been their best calves this year. So what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, Blaster's done a tremendous job. Went to Musgraves this summer and we toured around there. They have an outstanding set of Blaster daughters in there in production, beautiful udders, doing a good job. The Blaster sons, they're beefy bulls, they're performance. They got some pounds and guts and butt to them, some meat in them. So I think, you know, red meat and muscle in those Blaster sons, I think they're easy to sell. They're the kind guys like to buy.
Docility, feet and udders, I think, is pretty awesome on that bull, and that's, you know, a lot of guys are looking for that at the minute to mix in with.
Feet and udders. No one wants to deal with troublemakers.
We're getting asked again for some bulls at the moment, for bulls with a better frame. Here's a bull, Thomas Jefferson.
So Thomas Jefferson, being a red carrier, makes him a little unique to the lineup. This guy here, he's awesome number set, can do a lot of different things, a lot of variety from a mating standpoint. He's very popular in the red cows here in the States. Had a little different pedigree on the top side for the black guys that have black cows, and, you know, those things are good. So, you know, they're doing a lot of unique things, calving ease, growth, performance, carcass, all that's there in a good package.
Yeah, first calves have come here and coming easy. So there's a couple of red ones and a couple of black ones. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Gar Ashling, he's a bull that punches above his weight. He offers unprecedented body depth and capacity in that sort of Gar prefix with all the stuff you know from there.
If you search that bull in the Angus database of proven sires, you won't find another bull that can touch him in terms of calving ease, growth, marbling ribeye, performance, and carcass traits. No one's even warms him up. He's in a league of his own. He is the threshold, the bar. You know, you start to look at his accuracy levels. Ashlyn's one of Gen X's favorites right now. He's top 3 sellers. Depending on the day, he's been one. But he's going to be here for a while, so we're excited about that.
We joined him to some very dominant females within the herd, and we're very happy with the way he's bred. Obviously got a lot of carcass behind them, and you can see that within the cattle, but phenotypically have bred the way we like to see it at Texas. They've got good heads on them, plenty of body to them. Structurally wise, very happy with them, even though they're only 18 months of age. Very happy with the way it is at the moment.
Beast Mode, he's the household name of Angus in Australia. An absolute rock star and a perpetual box ticker. We've seen heaps of calves and been to heaps of different places in the last couple of months. Everywhere you go, you drive around, you look out the paddock, say, what's that calf? It's a beast mode. Well, what's that calf? It's a beast mode. That's the one thing I can say about beast mode is get your order in, and we can probably let the guys out in the field do the rest of talking about the bull.
The story's written on beast mode. His mother's one of the, you know, most elite cows in the Angus breed. The thing I like about beast mode is they're beefy cattle. They're deep, they're thick, they're sound, they're good-footed. And then you talked about the marbling and the calving ease and the growth and the number sets there to go with it. And so anytime you can combine numbers and phenotype into one package, it makes yourself pretty easy to market. And that's what we see with beast mode.
He's definitely a bull that can create a hell of a lot of carcass weight, and not only carcass weight, just weight in general. They've got good heads on them, good feet. Yeah, no, he's connected particularly well with some of our maternal lines that have, you know, got a lot of thickness and muscle with him. He's connected particularly well with there. Can't complain the way he's got, and exceptional temperament. I've been really happy with the way Beast Mode has performed with temperament-wise as well.
Yeah, we've been pretty happy with the Beast Modes. They're really consistent. They're deep-bodied cattle, plenty of bone in them. They're incredibly quiet cattle as a general rule, and yeah, they fitted in here nicely, and we're very happy with the progeny. Beast Mode's just a tremendous individual. There's so much body and power in those cattle, and early maturing, but just so much grow. We've got a bull that's probably about 50 kilos heavier than his contemporaries, and just blowing them away. So yeah, no, Beast Mode seems to get better and better all the time.
We're bloody excited to have a bull like that in our team, and great that we can offer him to you guys in the field there. And he's a bull that ticks those boxes that we like and makes money for the breeders. Well, thanks for joining us on the Spring Angus Bull Night of 2020. She was a quick rundown of what we've got in the way of Angus bulls. Another product I'll touch on is Fertility Plus 2 for this spring. If you're thinking about joining and looking for a little boost there, that's a mineral that can help you go forward, get a few more cows in calf. We've had good results with other Angus breeders, and I can put you in touch with them if you'd like to talk to them. A couple other things I'll mention is on the 31st of August, I've got a Q&A night coming up with the guys we've had on the video, myself, and whoever else we can jam in there that wants to listen. We can come on, remain anonymous, and you can also be part of the group. It'll be a closed session where it's just Q&A on Microsoft Teams with myself and a few others, and yeah, it'll just be a pretty casual chat about bulls. So Monday the 31st of August, the last day of the month, and at 7:30, I urge you to jump in, text, email, give us a call. If you'd like to be part of that, we can add you in. We're here to try and put together a team of bulls that makes you profitable, and hope you can find a bull in there that does the job for you. Thanks to Angus Australia for the initiative to have a chance to talk about our bulls, and don't hesitate to give us a call. And if you think you've got a bull that we need to see that should be in the catalogue and we're missing out on, happy to talk to you about that. Thanks very much and have a good night.
With that, we come to the end of the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night for 2020. We'd like to thank you for participating and the presenters for a series of great presentations. Remember, if you want to know more, there's the Angus Australia database for more information on the bulls, or contact any one of our speakers tonight to discuss the bull's use in your herd, with their contact details available through the Angus Australia website. Equally, if you're chasing herd bulls by any of the sires you've seen tonight, then the Angus Australia database can help you track down the right bull for you with the Angus SaleSELECT or Angus database search. A recording of tonight's event will remain on the Angus Australia YouTube channel, so if you know someone who missed the event, let them know so they can check it out. And if you have a moment, we'd really appreciate any feedback you have on the event. It's been great. I'm Matt Reynolds. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next year.